Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the FTSE today. And with the FTSE here, we're looking from wave 4 to wave 5 here, and we're counting this little move up through to here. Our target is the 8,000. Wherever we see an 8, we call it a profit-taking number as part of the trading levels scenario. So 7,800, we expected a correction here, and we can also expect one here as well. So just drilling into this particular trend here on the 4-hour chart. And this is also possible for the DAX to be having this count too, even though I don't have it counted like this. But from this low here, we have wave 1 and 2, and then 5 waves up for the next structure of 1 lesser degree of the minute degree, 1 and 2 here, and then an extended nice long third wave in 5 waves up to this point here as wave 3, and then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. And of course wave 4s can get more complicated than a simple ABC, so we need to be mindful of that. However, the little move up through here is proving to be an impulse wave, so we'll see higher ground to be covered here yet. And as you can see here, we're at the 700 here, and we can see that it was resistance here, and now it's getting itself into a place of support here. So if you haven't been long at this point, then you can look to go long shortly on new highs. If we look at the 1-hour chart here from the low here, we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, then 1 and 2, nice strong third wave here, 4th wave and 5th wave, so 5 waves up for the 3rd wave, a 4th wave. The 5th wave is a little bit dodgy here in terms of looking for 5 waves within this structure. We need to be prepared for an A and a B and a C wave here, back to the 50-60% area here. However, if this market moves up and finds support, this number here, 7720 is critical, so nice support on that. You can go long, and also of course going long above this particular high here. If I've got this count wrong, then this market will just move straight up from here. So support on that 7720, and then look to add to the position on 7730. Okay, and expect a profit taking at the 7750, but once that becomes support, you can add back into that. Our target to the upside at this stage would be the 7,800 area here. And the DAX here on the daily chart, we're not clear on this particular count either. We know that we can count 5 waves moving up into this structure here. So to have this as wave 3 here, an A wave here, an A and a B, and 5 waves for a C wave here is a valid count. And the current move that we have down here now is also appears to be in 5 waves as well. So it's really giving us a bit of a bearish picture within here. And if that's the case, then we'll be looking for an ABC pulling back 61.8%, which is very close to the 13,000, and we'll have to include that in there. So we can expect a move up to the 13,000 and then a move down from that point. Now, if at any stage we get support on this level here in terms of the move up, back, and then up, and basically migrating from resistance to support here, then we'll look at this being a wave 4 here in line with the FTSE and moving up higher from that point. But at this stage we can't rule out our current main count here, and we would need to look at this as wave 3 up here, an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then down for wave C or 4 here, which is not really in line with the US markets by the by. Yeah, we just need to be mindful. I mean, we could say that it would be a bullish market if we get support on 13,000. And the move up here too, in terms of a normal progression to the upside, is fine, because we would normally see a move up to 13,000, a reaction at this stage here, and then the first high above the level, then an A and a B and a C, and then moving up from that point, and then that would become our reference point to go long at that point. So we need that pattern here. Of course, we can trade up here to close to the 13,000. That's not the problem. But once we get there, I won't be quite sure what we've actually got at this stage here. So on the 4-hour chart here, we can drill into this in a moment, but this move, so we can have an alternative wave 4 here like we've got on the FTSE, but it's quite clear here that we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for 1, ABC back for 2 here, then the third wave coming in through here, nice and long and strong, and a fourth and a fifth wave here. So it does count as 5 waves, so we need to be on guard and be mindful that the move up here to the 50-60% area here or to the 13,000 is going to be corrective. It's also going to be difficult for the DAX to get above the number 8 here as well, because we see 8 as the third strongest number, 1, 5 and 8 and 3. So getting back onto the other side here is going to be a bit tricky. So the day traders and scalpers will have to be very mindful of how they move through this area through here. I'm not sure if I've updated the 1-hour chart. Okay, so with the 1-hour chart here, I've taken a more conservative view of 5 waves down for wave 1 and back for 2, and 5 waves down for wave 3, 4 and 5 here. So this doesn't count very nicely here as a impulse wave to the upside, but on the cash market it's got a better count for this. But be very careful about going long here. The US markets are positive, that's fine, and the Nasdaq is the drivers and those stocks, and they will continue to go up. They will be easier to trade than this market. So the idea here is that if we look at this low here, take our 50-60% retracement level, because this is where you would need to keep the stop out of harm's way here, under this level through here. So really under the 12,650 area here that it could come back and test. It probably won't because of the US being stronger, but it's going to be a very choppy market getting above the 12.8 here, so be mindful of that. This little move here can be a little A and a B and a C wave coming here, and then up from there. So if I just clean this up here a little bit, but I just want you to be mindful of 2 points, that it's going to be difficult to glean support from this resistance. It's done a fair job of that anyway, but yeah, and the other point here is that it can spike lower before it goes higher as well, so you'll need to be mindful of that. I don't think it's the better of the indice trades there. I think the Nasdaq stocks, when you look at Google and Apple popping up and a few of those, and Twitter, and then you'll notice that that's where that strength is coming from, and that volatility is what you want to be surfing, so to speak. Right, and the AEX as well, I'm not 100% clear on this as well. So the AEX here, it's got a slight different count coming down here. It hasn't got 5 waves coming down, it's actually got 3 waves coming down through here. So I don't know if the current rally for this one is a 4th wave. This little move up through here is not finished yet. There will be 1 and 2 and 3, nice long 3rd wave in here, 4th and 5th. So it can make another high here before folding down at this point here. So if I look at this on the hourly chart here, I was looking at it in terms of 5 waves. We're looking at this coming down here as wave 1, ABC for wave 2 here. We're looking at this as the 3rd wave. And we were looking at this as a 4th wave here, and possible 5th wave moving down, but it hasn't moved down here lower, so we need to look at this move down as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, which is a bullish structure here. I can see, even though we've got a long setup here, that long setup for day traders, actually you could have moved that down to the next level here and the next high here. I won't put it there because I didn't say that, but in hindsight, it's easy to say in hindsight, but it's also good to learn from hindsight as well. So, you know, those 555s were the support there, and it gave us a signal at that point. So you trade from that level to that level, wait here, and if I can move this now and put it on that high and then bring it down to that high here as well. But I can see the count here in terms of wave 1 and 2 and 3 here, and there's a wave 4 going on. So there will be a little move higher here. I just don't know how far it's going to go. Certainly it's going to stop at the 565 and the 61.8% retracement level. So yeah, I also don't know if this here is, if I can copy this here, is an A and a B and a C wave here as well. So we're a little bit unclear with this as well at this point. So don't have a clear 5 waves down. It counts better as a 3 waves down. You know, I know that if we get 5 waves here, then we'll get 5 waves over here, but beyond that, I just don't know. So I have to sit it out and wait there a little bit. And also too, we started looking at the MIB Italy, and it's the same here as well. From the top up here, it's more bearish, of course, but and the count is not that clear, but the best I can do is wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2, down for wave 1, back for 2, all the way down to 3, 4, and 5. So it leaves us, you know, it leaves us either an A wave, B wave, and C wave here, and then we're turning bullish from that point, or we've got wave 4 here. But wave 4 can pull back 38.2%, 40%, or to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So if we take this high here down to the low here, that's the 38. So it's not very helpful in this particular instance here, because I know that we can come from that high all the way down to this. So there's a lot of space that this can move up into. So we just need to sit a little bit tight here and figure out what we've got at this stage. But it'll certainly be running into trend line resistance here, and also where the sellers came in here as well. So supply, so it will be hitting supply very shortly. Of course, if it sits on the 23 here, then we've got a bullish market in play, and we can go along from that point. But let's get clear on some of the bigger markets first before we start calling the trends in for Italy here. Alrighty, thanks for tuning into the Trading Lounge. Appreciate it. Cheers.